What's up, teammates? Good to see you back. You know, everybody just keeps dogging on Aiden and dogging on the Raiders in general because they're just saying, we got a great team, we got a great defense, we got all tools, we just don't have anybody to get the ball to them. And I swear, man, everybody who we're talking to or who's out there talking has got to have not seen any film of Aiden O'Connell. If you just look at the film of Aiden in college, and just use that as a comparison to what he could be doing in the pros. Everybody looks at what Jaden Daniels and all these rookies were doing when they're in college and says they can be good in the pros. I had the most recent thing, I had someone post up, maybe we should trade for Hendon Hooker. There are people thinking that we should trade for other people's trash because they think Aiden O'Connell was so terrible. And I just don't understand why they compare what Aiden Connell did in half a season with all the things he had going against him to what these kids have done in college, hoping that it can transfer over to the pros when all their game is not pro style game in college. But Aiden's game was pro style in college. He came in and was quasi successful. People don't want to say over 500 is successful. That's fine, you know. But that's the truth. If anybody else, if you double his record, he came out 10-8. Who would be mad with double digits wins? Well, apparently everybody who doesn't think Aiden is a good quarterback. But there's so many people out there thinking that, and those people can't have watched any of the film. So their analysis doesn't mean anything anymore. Everybody out there in the national media talking mackerly about the Raiders when they haven't seen any film about Aiden. They haven't seen any true film about Gardner. And all they're doing is judging these rookies and what they hope they could be up against what Aiden has already done in the pros. And these kids haven't thrown a single ball in the pros, but they're projected to be better than Aiden because you're comparing what he did in the pros to what these kids did in college. And then you don't go back to college and look at Aiden O'Connell's college career and compare those games to what the other kids were doing in their games. And if you compare those games, you'll see those kids that are people are saying we missed in the draft and that the Raiders were hungry for because we didn't have a quarterback that we liked. If you look at what they were doing, they weren't doing NFL stuff. And now what they're hoping they can do is transfer over to NFL. But you just hope it. It's not there at all. It's just a hope. You do know what's there with Aiden. At least now you know that he can do a daggone play action pass. You know that he can win in the NFL because he has. But you have no idea what these kids can do, but they're just everybody's thinking they're guaranteed to be better than Aiden Connell, although they have no idea what Aiden did in the college, and they have no idea what these kids will be able to do in the pros. It's decided that Aiden can't do it. That's fine. And everybody out there who listens and thinks that Aiden can't do it, that's fine as well. I've come out with more than enough series, more than enough shows, episodes, videos, whatever you want to call it, to prove all the different points I have about Aiden being the starter for us. And I'm not listening to anybody else, okay? Yeah, and I don't feel like I'm not listening to anybody else because I trust myself, because I trust what I've been looking at and I trust my own analysis. So we're supposed to get our analysis from pros who don't have all the information and don't sit down and bother to look at it all. And that's fine because they got to look at every team. They can't come to our team and look specifically at everything we got going on and then make a decision for us. They can just say what they feel. But I'm looking directly at the team as closely as I can to get with every information I can get, look at every player and everything they say, and try to gain my own opinion. You know why I trust my opinion? Not to be braggadocious, because I was right though. I've been right from the beginning about Aiden O'Connell. I was right when I told my friend from the beginning. I said Aiden O'Connell is going to be starting in the middle of the year. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get hurt. Aiden O'Connell is better than Jimmy Garoppolo right now. And once he gets in, he's not going to give the ball back to Jimmy because he's going to be a better option for us to win. He said I was stupid. Come the season, that's what happened. He says, well, you can't tell why he went up there. It's not like you could predict that Josh was being fired. I said, but I could predict that Jimmy was not going to be better than Aiden O'Connell. When the game started playing, and I told people, y'all know, I told Q, there's a quarterback controversy back there. I was stupid to everybody. Come forward. The quarterback controversy is true. I told everybody that Josh McDaniels tried to sabotage Aiden O'Connell. That was foolish when I said it. Now, it's common knowledge. It is general speak that, oh yeah, it's obvious that that's what he was doing back then. I said we weren't going to draft a quarterback. We didn't. But then everybody says, well, you didn't know that Michael Penix was going to get drafted that early. So it's always, I'm right, but for some reason there's just this excuse that they can come up with for, okay, you're right, but I'm not listening to them anymore. I'm just listening to me. I think I'm right, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I understand if y'all don't think I'm right, that's cool. And if y'all do think I'm right, keep following that, because I have been so far. And if I'm going to be right continually, from this point on, Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starting quarterback. For all the reasons I previously discussed. And it's going to be good for us who are going to get to tell everybody that they're wrong. And those of you who are out there listening to me, I understand if you think I'm wrong, and, you know, maybe I will be. You know, I haven't been yet, but the time is coming, you know. And I'm not going to do anything about the schedule and try to get the schedule right and say, look, I was right about this, because people always say we're going to be this many wins and this many wins. And then if we get the record right at the end, you're like, see, I told you I was close, but then half the games we won are games that you said we should have lost. So what the hell does that matter? It doesn't. So I'm not going to do that. I looked into it. Then I looked at what everybody else is doing. I said, this is silly. It's not even worth the time of looking into it, because it's everybody's best guesstimation based on information that they don't even really have. So how can you predict we're going to beat Denver if we don't know who either starting quarterback is going to be? It's just content. We want to make decent content. Let's talk about the Raiders. Let's talk about our rookies. Let's talk about what we can do new. And I hope I come across some of that stuff so we can talk about it here, so I can come up with some information that's interesting that you haven't heard yet. But this Aiden hate, anything but Aiden, is just, I thought it would die, and it's just not. And it's not going to die until he starts. So I'm just going to have to sit here and listen to it. Those of you out there who believe like I believe that Aiden's going to start, just sit here and listen to it. Try not to get frustrated with it, because, you know, it's not that you don't have to that you disagree with the opinion, but most of them aren't completely informed. Most of them haven't done enough study on both issues, on both quarterbacks and everything that's going on with Aiden did in college or high school, in college. Because if they did, they would at least have better arguments. And that's what's the worst thing about it, is there's no arguments. It's the same ones I was telling you yesterday. Minshew's a veteran. Minshew got paid a lot of money, and Minshew can move better than Aiden O'Connell. That has nothing to do with anything about their skill sets. And I don't understand, if they're supposed to be professional analyzers, how come they can't come up with something that's more pertinent to why Minchow is supposed to be better than Aiden O'Connell. I would be fine with that if someone would come to some counter arguments to what I'm saying, but I haven't heard any. Everybody just keeps saying those same three things. And I got 30 videos that have different arguments about why he's going to be the starter. But I'm the one who's been wrong from the beginning, no matter what. So have a good time watching me. I don't want to come out here just, complaining to the world and saying how much I'm right. That's not what this is about. It's supposed to be about me bringing some entertainment, looking at what people are saying, showing different points of view, put them all together and bringing something out to you. Somebody did say something interesting, and it got me thinking, though. Mo Moten from Silver and Black Today. The only thing he did get me scared about is our little winning record that Aiden had, the 5-4. He really didn't beat any starting quarterbacks outside of Patrick Mahomes. So that is something that I have to consider when we think about his record and, going forward. So at least that's some interesting analysis, and that actually makes a lot of sense to the point that it kind of scares me, because that's true. He hadn't been playing top level competition in those wins, but also he didn't have top level coaching. So he's going to win out the starting job. That's a foregone conclusion. Now it's just a matter of, let's see what we can get done and how Gatsky can get it done with our weapons that we have. And I think he's going to do a good job. I can't wait. I don't really have a reason to think that Gatsby would do a good job other than the fact that he was quasi-successful in Chicago and Justin Fields sucks. And he still had a pretty decent offense. So I think Gatsby can do it. I think Aiden's going to win. I think we're going to have a successful season. And I believe me. So if you believe me, stay tuned. All right. I hope y'all were entertained. If not, I'll try better next time. Guru out.